All right. Put up the bell ringer for today. Bell ringer is up. So describe President Wilson's neutrality. Why did President Wilson believe it was America's best interest to stay out of the war in Europe? So 1914, start of the war. Why did he think it was in America's best interest to stay out of it? There you go. How you get working on this? All right. So describe President Wilson's neutrality. Why did President Wilson believe it was in America's best interest to stay out of the war in Europe in 1914? So what we got here? What do we have? Who wants to share their response? Chase, what do you have?
I said because the U.S. didn't really have anything to gain from going to the war. And they weren't really ready for that kind of war yet.
Okay, good. Good job. So what type of war was it? Trench warfare. Yeah, good job. So we weren't ready for this, right? Okay, so we weren't prepared for this new style of warfare. We didn't have really a modernized land military just yet. Naval power was a little bit different, right? We were third in the world at the start of the 1900s, but with the land military, not so much. Okay, we didn't have much participation in our land military. The only war we really recognized before this was the Spanish-American War. Okay, we lost more people because of illness, sickness, disease than actual fight and combat. Okay, and some issues in Mexico with President Wilson. I mean, that was right around the start of his presidency. But again, we had no idea what type of warfare was going on in Europe. How else could we stay out of this? Why else could we stay neutral? What was one of the biggest reasons why the U.S. could stay out of this conflict? Colin?
We're making money off of it.
Okay, we're making money off of it, right? So we're making money off of selling supplies and armaments to which side? Both sides. Good job. Good job. How else could we stay out of this issue, this conflict? Haley, do you have your hand up? Yeah, we're across the ocean, right? We're isolated. We're far separated from these European countries. Okay, good job. Good job. There was no real close impact that these European countries it'd be hard for them to travel this war all the way across the Atlantic Ocean onto our land, okay, into our borders. Good. And why else did President Wilson decide, you know what, we're not going to join a side here. We're going to stay neutral. Chris? Yeah, okay. So that was described with making money off of it. But why else was Wilson saying, you know what, if we join one side, this could cause issues? Alyssa? Yeah, good job. All right. So it's a melting pot, right? The United States. We have immigrant groups from Great Britain, from Germany. So if we join one side, who knows? There might be a violent uprising in America depending on what side we join. Okay, there's a lot of culture, heritage in the U.S. from these immigrant groups. Good, good work. So is there any questions on that? Any at all? And like you mentioned, Chris, good job, the internationalist idea.
No, I meant to say, but I got mixed up here.
No, you're good. You're good. So we can make a pretty penny off of this. Okay, although we want peace, we can make a penny off of it. And that political cartoon with Uncle Sam, you remember holding the sign right on the front? It says, "We want peace, goodwill to all men." On the back of them, he says, "War ammunition for sale." It's like it was a double standard in a way, and how we're kind of two-faced with that, hypocritical. And with that, European countries on both sides didn't know how to trust the United States. Okay, they were just like, well, I don't know what side they're going to join. They're aiding both sides. Okay, we don't really know what to make of the U.S. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, real quick, let's go over the writing assignment from yesterday. I saw a few examples of students who were thinking both ways, which I thought was pretty good. Alyssa, what did you say for the neutrality? What would you do if you were president?
I said it was a good idea, but really poorly executed.
Why is that?
Because neutrality makes sense because we don't have a reason to be in it. But then with him deciding to send weapons and like make money off of it, that just made like enemies on both sides.
It did, right? Yeah, it did. So these countries viewed us as, I don't know, like a hypocrite in a way, right? Okay, so staying out of it, it's a good idea, but at the same time, when we're trading, when we're giving weapons and armaments to these other countries, it caused issues. But why did the U.S. do that? Obviously to make money, but why else? What'd that make the United States as they were selling and trading all these supplies and armaments? Well, yeah, an industrial power, right? We're still growing as that industrial power. And this pushed us to the top industrial power in the world. Okay. And like I mentioned the other day, if all these European countries are duking it out and destroying each other, who's going to be the last power standing? Colin? Yeah, the United States, right? The United States. Good. Good job. Haley, what did you say? I like your response. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, good job. So he saw this as a way of rising as this industrial power, this world power. And at the same time, we're not sending troops and soldiers over, not yet anyway. Okay, we need some other push to get us involved, which we're going to talk about more tomorrow. Good. Brittany, what do you say?
I said it was like kind of like listeners. It was like a good idea, but it was poorly executed.
Okay. Yeah, good. Good job. Rooster? Okay. Yeah, yeah, good job. Good job. So that we wouldn't have this view of us being two-faced, right? Okay, good. Colin, what do you have?
I just said that I think we made the right decision by staying out of it. Because there wasn't a point for us to join the war. It goes across that issue, and we're making money off it. So what's the point? But allies on both sides.
Yeah, yeah, we saw this as a business opportunity, right? Yeah, good. Good job. Good job. All right, is there any questions on that? Ethan, what did you have? I like your response too.
You have a good idea to move up. Should have joined the war a little bit earlier.
Okay, yeah. To help Great Britain and France out, our true allies, right? Okay. And we talked about reasons why he didn't do that, but let's face it, we're going to join them probably, and because they're a top world power. Okay, you might, right, with communication, like I mentioned, with those cables, Okay, we only really saw one viewpoint of the war, and that was through Great Britain's perspective. That was about it. So, yeah, good job. So maybe join the war a little bit more earlier. Okay, so joining that earlier and helping and aiding our allies in this war. Okay, good job. Good job. All right, so I'll give you a little bit of time to look over your quiz. So the extra credit point right now, Haley Ryder and Autumn, 27 seconds. Anybody beat 27 seconds? Okay, remember, remote students, make sure you get that quiz done. Just do the form like it's labeled on the Google form, like it's labeled on Classroom. And that is it for today.